What's up, YouTube? Blaze here, and I'm back with another reaction video. Okay, today's video is gonna be basically a follow-up to the drama with Rev on the quartering. And just when you thought things couldn't get worse, they actually do. Basically, the quartering's rock bottom. Autumn probably has one basement, or either that or several sub-levels of a basement. But anyways, here we go. If you guys are ready, I know I am. Let's go.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the latest involving the quartering, which has been an ongoing situation for the past month or so. Now, I'm sure most of you have at least heard of the quartering, or maybe you've seen some of his content over the years. He is someone who's been mired in controversy many times before, but never quite to this magnitude, where thanks to a spree of drunken tweets, allegations of false flagging, among other things, over the past couple of weeks, his reputation has really taken a massive hit, and we talked about him about...
Man. Okay, I hate to say this, but... he looks a lot worse than I do when I get out of bed in the morning. Uh, Trust me on that, ad chat. Trust me. Alright.
2 weeks ago, and today I'm going to be giving you all of the updates since then. And
also, for those who are here watching this for the first time, I'm Jeremy, aka The Quartering, was supposedly responsible for getting the YouTube channel Kino Casino lips deleted because he couldn't take how much they were clowning on both him, how the boys from Kino Casino Gaming couldn't, because he couldn't take how much the boys from Kino Casino were dunking and clowning on both him and his wife. Supposedly made about his wife, but I think it's more about him because, well, let's face it, Jeremy basically has main character energy. And if it's not about the whole thing with his wife, there's also allegations where he's a creep, as well as well, pretty much an alcoholic.
And lo and behold, it contains a lot more hypocrisy and crash outs on Twitter, which are pretty much expected for Jeremy at this point. But what is the background for all this? Well, in early April, it was alleged that the quartering had a hand to play in the takedown of a YouTube channel that was posting clips of the content creators from Kino Casino. Kino Casino has been trolling the quartering for quite some time, but in April it seems like things had really boiled over, and the quartering made a bunch of tweets about them, including some like this, where he claimed he had the power to take down their YouTube channel and that their Kick channel, their main channel, would be next after that. On top of that, there was private DMs that are leaked.
Joke's on Jeremy. Their Kick channel is still all up and running. Well, and also, when it comes to the quartering thing, he doesn't really stream anywhere except for Rumble. I know it's kind of shocking, but yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Yeah, that's pretty much. He's been under contract for Rumble for years. Kind of like how the whole thing with Sneak. Kind of like how with Sneeko. Oh, which is kind of like a wannabe Andrew Tate. I'd rather not get into that one. That's a different can of worms. But anyway, and also as a little side update, he it's gonna get even worse other than him being exposed as a flagger, her as well as all the drunken private messaging is where he was basically crashing out, and of course the public statement that's on Twitter. From what I understand, Chris over at Rumble, oh, and yes, that's actually his first name. Apparently, he's eventually going to do away with contracts on Rumble. Also, for all those that were under contracts, are going to end up losing a lot of money, and I believe the quartering is no exception. So that's going to tank it even more for him.
Where once again the quartering was expressing his power to have their Kick and YouTube platforms taken down, that he had the power to deplatform them in just a week, and lo and behold, the related Kino Casino clip channel on YouTube was taken down, allegedly for ban evasion, which Jeremy was alleging they were doing, which didn't make any sense because at one point the co-host was banned on YouTube, but he was unbanned a few months ago, so ban evasion.
Okay, so the co-creator they're referring to, who is the guy on the right in every Kino Casino stream, known as Andy Worski. His journey was kind of like a major full circle thing because as for years the internet dumped on him for being one of the biggest house because of all the incidents he would get involved in, and not to mention having a little problem. But I won't disclose that here because it's YouTube. And also, as a further joke on Jeremy, he they have a Kino Casino Clips channel now over on Rumble. Oh, and I imagine it's a lot more I imagine they could. I imagine PvP, the other co-hosts, can say a lot more there, given how Rumble is a lot more lax with the stuff you can say on their site versus what you can say on YouTube. Basically, Rumble is supposed to be like started out like a small little niche alternative for YouTube, but then and eventually it got popular with a lot of political. And then when they got into the whole live streaming aspect, that it got popular for basically a majority of people that host podcasts. A lot of people that fall under conservative circles, which is also another major thing about the quartering you guys should know. For the record, the reason why I'm on Rumble is because I'm always looking for alternatives to. Don't get me wrong, okay, I better. Don't get me wrong, I like YouTube. It's just I don't always want to stream on YouTube because of how strict it is with a lot of certain things. Not to mention the whole thing with playing copyrighted music. Now I understand the reason for the DMCA ad, but honestly, there are times when it's kind of a headache, if I'm being realistic.
Wouldn't even make any sense, but that was the result. And people were very critical of the quartering because both publicly and privately he expressed his ability to have these channels taken down. And he would make this final address, spoiler alert, it is not the final time, where he talks about the controversy and he said
Of
that,
course
well,
not.
he's just angry because they were targeting his marriage and his wife, but a lot of the information they were talking about was already public or something that the quartering shared publicly on his own behalf. And
Yeah, kind of makes me wonder if a lot of the public statements were made while he was hugging the bottle, if you know what I mean. Either that or it got leaked somehow. But then again, it's the internet. As for what it specifically is, basically it's about his marriage being open, involving certain lifestyles. Well, mainly one in particular, but I won't say here. Here, if any of you guys know, you know. Oh, of course, it was expressed in the last video from Red that I reacted to, based on the quartering drama. So, yeah, if you guys want to go check that out, I'll leave the link to my previous video on this drama in the description after I upload this video.
eventually you would see other content creators like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers saying the issue is that you publicly threaten to take someone else's channel down, then you privately threaten to do it, then it actually happened a few days later, where the quartering would respond by calling Jeremy a clown and saying that he did not false flag them and that there's no need to apologize for anything. And then Yellow Flash would come in and say, through communications with his YouTube rep here, that this was likely the results of a off-platform point of contact. Someone was directly contacted at YouTube, and that was how the clip channel was taken down, which...
Yeah, because... Okay, I might as well give you a little more background context on how the whole thing with the Kino Casino Clips channel is ran over on YouTube. The truth is it's actually ran by their video editor, or called Flate, which does a really, really good job at making sure everything is scrubbed and squeaky clean for the sake of, well, TOS friendly on YouTube. And the thing was, the guys weren't taking cuts from weren't taking any cuts or fees from any weren't taking any cuts from the channel itself. They 100% left all the profits with their editor Flick. So basically, the quartering's little crash out slash drunken temper tantrum caused collateral damage involving another person's livelihood. Someone that isn't directly involved with the drama. Which is just really sad and really scummy. I mean, yeah, I kind of had a feeling that their channel was taken down manually because never once had the Kino's Clubs channel, for as long as I've been watching over on YouTube, had never had any copyright strikes whatsoever. Sure, those guys can get a little more eccentric, PPP, he mostly, but then again, that's his whole personality. So in reality, it's been pretty much kept squeaky clean on everything, from the erring into saying certain words that would upset people. But yeah, bottom line is Flake did his job so well, to keep things within the YouTube community guidelines. Finds that their channel hasn't had any issues up until recently.
Again, doesn't look good for the quartering. And that's where we left things off about 2 weeks ago. Everybody looking at the quartering and at the very least being extremely charitable to him. He looks really bad because he expressed both publicly and privately that he could and wanted to have these channels taken down, and one of them was in fact taken down. So it's not a very good look. Now, after that, he would go on to Twitter and show what he deemed as 100% proof that he was innocent, saying, and for my final act, spoiler alert, it is not the final act, I will prove my rep no longer even works at YouTube. I have
Yeah, that's kind of another major thing with that. Yeah, you can assume that whenever he talks about the final act or the finale, never assume it is.
proven every single accusation. Anybody accusing me now is doing so in bad faith, showing a screenshot of emails and related emails from YouTube, supposedly showing that he's innocent, but unfortunately for him, during one of his live streams, he accidentally showed the search bar on his browser, which showed some very interesting results. And here is a closer screenshot.
Why do I get the feeling this is about as Why do I get the feeling this is about as much as damning evidence as the incident with Bosch? I'm not even kidding.
Showing some emails directed towards another one of his channels that he did not provide any sort of screenshots for, where you can see, thanks for your report to YouTube. He has absolutely no explanation for any of this, and a lot of people think this is proof that he is lying about flagging channels. And of course, during those days that would follow, more
lying.
people talking about the subject would also get community guideline strikes on their videos, having their videos taken down, even talking about his coffee brand.
Which in a marketing standpoint, would fail because it's the most generic brand name ever. I mean, look at this. Coffee brand coffee? Really? If you heard some of the comments I was making on the last video I made on this, yeah, you would understand why this was destined to fail.
That's right. So it's, again, a very bad look for a guy who's publicly and privately exclaiming that he can and wants these channels to be taken down. You see the targets of those initial conversations lose one of their YouTube channels, and then people covering the situation start getting hit with strikes for cyberbullying and stuff like that. Not a very good look. And a lot of people were looking at the controversy and seeing the massive blows to the quartering's reputation over the past couple of weeks and asking, what's up with this social blade? Why is the quartering gaining 1 million plus views every day and gaining thousands of subs every day during this massive controversy, where his regular videos on YouTube are getting around 40,000 views for a channel with over 2 million subs? It's not like he's lighting the world on fire. Where are all these numbers coming from?
Very suspicious. Either people are getting involved. Either people are going over to his channel to dunk on him, or I suspect something else completely. I won't say what it is, but I'm pretty sure the evidence is there.
from? Well, on the one hand, the quartering has talked about buying subs before, so is that part of the equation here? We don't
Okay, that... Okay, if that's the whole reason, then that would explain everything.
really know, but I think there's a very simple explanation for all of this, and it's something you can discover publicly. Where if you go to his YouTube channel and you go to his shorts page, that's where all the views are coming from. You can see the
Oh,
view count on these are much higher. A video like this, for example, with 300,000, and he's just spamming these shorts out. Now,
well, yeah, and that's unfortunately kind of a curse when it comes to YouTube because that's kind of a curse because YouTube is trying to compete directly with TikTok. And I think this is kind of the result of that. That and, well, overall consensus of people's attention spans getting worse.
the reason why people are mocking this is not because he's getting views just from posting YouTube shorts. It's the fact that all these shorts are incredibly lazy, where basically he pops up on the screen, talks for 5 seconds, and then plays someone else's content for a minute plus unedited with his watermark on top of it. Here's one example that went viral and for
Wow. And I thought when it comes to reactions to TikTok reacts, no one is lazier and scummier than SS Sniper Wolf, but I can be proven wrong.
good reason, where you can see the shamelessness of all of this, right? How lazy these shorts are that he's getting all of his views from.
But what are the oranges for? Well, I bet it tasted good. Let me know what you think.
And I'll just pause it here. You can see it goes on for a full minute unedited with his watermark on top of it. And there are infinite numbers of these videos on his channel, including like, those if you laugh, you lose type videos. Like he's even posted some of those recently where he's like, if you laugh at this or if you don't laugh at this, there's something wrong with you. That's it. That's his only contribution. Then he plays a full clip of someone else's content. Like it's the laziest stuff on earth, and it's
Oh, wow. Okay, for the record, guys, when I do my reactions, I try to do my best to add commentary, and I try to do my best to get my thoughts. And as for when I do the videos, thanks to me taking up video editing now, and using DaVinci Resolve, I actually started editing my videos to give it a little more touch. This let's Sure, it may have not been like that in the beginning. And back when I was first starting. But then again, I didn't have the best PC at the time, nor the best internet until probably like maybe maybe 2 to 3 years ago. Oh, of course, now a lot has changed.
very ironic coming from the quartering, who just back in November of last year was responding to Asmongold, saying it's so easy just not to steal someone else's content and maliciously break copyright, which he seems like he's skirting fair use as blatantly as he can. Like,
Yeah.
making transformative content on YouTube is not hard. Like, provide anything. This guy is the bottom of the barrel at the very least.
Yeah, for sure. At least I actually put my thoughts on what I want to say into this. And so does Asmongold, and anyone else who actually puts the effort into legitimate reaction content.
Least, where he provides 5 seconds of commentary before providing a minute of someone else's content unedited. And again, with his watermark on it, which just really adds a lot of really kind of like insult to injury. But one of the people who was making fun of the quartering the most during this for the shorts thing was Craig from Side Scrollers, who had a little bit that was funny.
Oh, Stuttering Craig. Heard about this guy, but I've been seeing this guy pop up in my Twitter feed over the last few weeks when the drama first started. I never had the chance to check him out. Maybe I should. And when I get the chance.
Where he was basically taking the...
Yeah, because almost everyone, on not just Craig, but also Shuan had weighed in on this. This as well as a few others. Even Josh the King, which is the content creator similar to Jim, aka Mr. Medeker. Kind of makes me wonder if Mr. Medeker will ever come out of the shadows for this.
Quarterings shorts and then adding his intro, basically saying that the quartering is stealing people's content, and then asking the quartering what he thinks about that, and then the quarterings short would play. It was a funny bit. But for those who don't know, Craig is the owner of the Side Scrollers podcast, a podcast that I am a regular on, and my wife as well. We go on.
Yeah, I think I ended up following the Side Scrollers podcast. That's on my new Rumble account, which is what I'm streaming from now. Still, I'll have to check out some of their content. Both on Rumble and on YouTube.
On bi-weekly. It has been a great experience and something that I've enjoyed doing very much. It's a very successful podcast, and I highly recommend you guys checking out not just my appearances, but the podcast in general. But of course, there was a clip that was recently shared where the quartering talked about Side Scrollers and Melanie Mack's departure from the podcast, and you can see the level of shade that the quartering was throwing at Side Scrollers.
What's wrong with Side Scrollers? Well, she's way bigger than Side Scrollers. She needs to be on shows that build her, that add exposure for her. I've never watched the show, but I know she's someone with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. She should be on big shows. If she wants to grow a brand, she's got to be on shows that are. They need her. She doesn't need them. It's just the truth.
Wow. That's... Wow. Okay. I need to check on something real quick. Hold on. $144,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Wow. So, saying they're small. Okay, hold on. I know the guys from Side Scrollers is on Rumble too. Almost 50,000 followers on Rumble? Wow. Okay. Subscribe to their YouTube channel, subscribe to their Rumble. Yeah, so the quartering has no position to say that. I get the feeling that who they're talking about at the moment.
It'd be like
Side Scrollers and Melanie Mack's departure.
Hmm. If I had to make a guess, Melanie Max probably just wanted to strike out on her own and start heading towards greener pastures.
From the podcast, and you can see the level of shade that the quartering was throwing at side scrollers.
What's wrong with side scrollers? She's way bigger than side scrollers. She needs to be on shows that build her, that add exposure for her.
Okay, so that's just a straight up lie and just a way to throw shade.
I've never watched the show, but I know she's someone with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. She should be on big shows. If she wants to grow a brand, she's got to be on shows that are. They need her. She doesn't need them. It's just the truth. It'd be like me being like,
Okay, so bottom line is the guys are fine. She probably just wanted to move on to bigger things. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, when it comes to podcasts, content creators leave all the time, right? So, yeah.
being mad if Melanie didn't go on my show, but went on, like, of course, or went on Ben Shapiro's show. Of course, he would do that for drama channels. I mean, I said what I said, and I stand on it. She's way too big of a talent to be slumming it on small shows. I mean, I'll triple down on it. I don't care.
Yeah, it's really the level of arrogance that is so off-putting about this clip that he's acting like it's some dog and pony show with 10 viewers that nobody cares about. I mean, at any given time, you tune into a side-scroller podcast.
Yeah, because I just looked into YouTube, their YouTube channel, almost 200,000 subscribers, and almost 50,000 on their Rumble channel. Dude's barking up the wrong tree. When it comes to that.
Podcast, there's 2,000 plus concurrent viewers. Like, it's a very successful podcast. And using Melanie Mack as an example of like someone too big makes absolutely no sense. I mean, number one, imagine going onto a podcast to have fun, first of all. Like, that concept is completely foreign to these individuals that maybe you just...
Since when do we treat content creation like it's a COD lobby? Seriously? I mean, really?
Just want to go onto a podcast and talk with like-minded people about things you care about. But speaking from a statistics standpoint, I know I've gained a lot of new subscribers and viewers, especially on my streams on YouTube, because of side scrollers, because you're exposing yourself to a...
Yeah, because over here, Rev has literally 750,000 subscribers, so I think his viewership just went up because of that. And I also imagine it's also had the same effect for his wife, Darling Straw. Because as she appeared on there with him on an episode at the same time. And who knows, I think Kirsch, as well as a couple of other VTubers like him ended up going on that very podcast.
New audience, and one that is a substantial audience. I don't care who you are, and I'm a channel with over 700,000 subs on YouTube, and I still find great benefit from being on their podcast. So that seems very arrogant, especially for someone who flippantly says all this while also saying they don't know anything about the podcast, that they don't watch it. Like, yeah, it just seems to be a very, very weird shot at side scrollers, and people like Craig obviously didn't appreciate it and were defending themselves in tweets where this clip was present. Then we fast forward a couple of days to the 22nd and the 23rd, where you can see this headline, this AI summary from Twitter saying the quartering threatens to take down Stuttering Craig's channel in online feud. Yes, there was another drunken spree of tweets by the quartering around this time where he said some now deleted gems like this, stating, "Nearly everyone profiting off spreading vicious lies on my name I've been nothing but nice to over the years. The receipts are on my side. I've let it be for weeks, but I guess if they really want me on my villain arc, I will oblige." Adding further, "I don't want to hear anyone telling me to be calm. These effing losers, Yellow Flash, side-scrollers, Brittany, Geeks and Gamers, they have all turned heel and decided 1 week's ad revenue was worth selling their souls, and so I will oblige." Now, throughout all this were some tweets targeting Craig.
Wow. Yeah, the villain arc for the quartering didn't just start. It's been that way for ages. No one respects him anymore. And that's why. Aye. Holy crap. Doesn't he have anything better to do?
And side-scrollers saying this, "I sure hope all of those temporary views were worth it. I've tried to play nice, but you've left me no option." And the last time he said he had no option left, the next day, the clip channel for Kino Casino was taken down. So that is a very clear reference to that situation. Adding on top of that, there was this promise of a scorched earth video or stream, I guess, from the quartering where he was going to expose DMs from Craig that would make Craig look very, very bad. Now, I was able to snag this screenshot on my end when this was all happening because I knew as soon as I saw it, eventually the quartering was going to delete this, and of course he did. But you can see, he says, "You mean the guy," referring to Craig, "that begged me for help on YouTube and to come on my show. These losers overplayed their hands. If they want me to be a villain, I will." And you can see the exchange here saying your mileage may vary. I can't say if it's worth it. Would love to have you. If you're looking for any guests on Friday, I love to come on your show. Right on. Pretty nuts with the election. That's it. That was the proof that was supposed to expose Craig as something, I guess, and Craig would respond saying,
"That just looked like nothing more than a nonchalant conversation in DMs. I mean, really."
He's correct. Jeremy is correct. I've been exposed as being professionally courteous. And you can see at that point the tweet is deleted. And then Craig would fire up a live stream over at Side Scrollers where he would go through his DMs with not just the quartering but Melanie Mac because that was relevant for context given the situation and some of the things that the quartering was saying, because it became very clear that DMs were being shared between the quartering and Melanie Mac that were from Craig. It was a whole mess, right? And eventually the quartering would say this about Craig. He fired up an emergency stream. Once I popped in, he suddenly drove 11 hours and was so tired. You coward. Chance of a lifetime, buddy. You ran, while directly tagging Craig on Twitter, getting 28 likes with 37 comments. Obviously, this wasn't going the way he expected. Where Craig says, "Jeremy, please, number 1, put down the phone. Number 2, put down the bottle. And number 3, go to sleep. Good nights." And overall, just looking at some of the DMs between the two that was shared by Craig, I mean, not only was he courteous and everything was fine, as pointed out here, it looks like the disparaging comments made about side scrollers were kind of jam-packed in the middle of these conversations. Like, it seems like it was completely out of nowhere and just completely unwarranted when it didn't seem like there was any beef between the two. But Craig would kind of end the night on the 23rd by giving some advice to the quartering, which I think he should have taken.
If Jeremy is in the chat, I do have a legit message for you. Put the bottle down. Put down the phone and put the bottle down. You don't need the booze, man. I mean this like sincerely. You don't need it. Get sober, take a break, get off the internet. And when you come back with some creative energy. I know everybody's doing it, so you should do it too. No. Your channel should be demonetized. It's literally in the terms of service that you can't do what you're doing with those shorts, right? But you're skating by right now. So all I ask of you is to look at yourself and realize that you should, and by the way, I'm not being malicious at all. Take a step back. Totally remove yourself from the internet. If you need to upload some videos to keep your channel in the algorithm, awesome. Do that. That's fine. But outside of that, get your work done, get done, and separate. Go on a vacation, go down to the beach, and just get off the internet and just separate, man.
Yeah. I'm with Craig on this one. Yeah, because the moment you take a break from something, the better it feels.
Come back, tell everybody you messed up, and then hopefully everybody can move on.
I mean, obviously at this point, the behavior of the quartering is a pattern of behavior where he goes off on these tweet sprees where he makes an absolute fool out of himself and eventually deletes everything, and then it just keeps happening over and over again. And in these moments, the best thing he could have done is, number one, never get on Twitter in the first place. Number two, put down the bottle. And number three, definitely don't combine all of those things, right? And to log off and to go out and touch grass is great advice. I mean, all the advice from Craig here makes a lot of sense. And for those who are like, well, what's with all the comments about his drinking? Well, the thing is, with the quartering, he has claimed many times that he does not drink at all. And I think...
Yeah, at this point, might as well consider the quartering a full-blown alcoholic at this point, because clearly the guy has a problem.
I think it's obvious seeing these crash outs that, I mean, what kind of state of mind is he in when he's doing these things? It seems pretty obvious, but in case it wasn't already, I mean, he's accidentally exposing himself over the past couple of days, shooting fireballs on stream. Like, it's not subtle at all. And just, look at some of the tweets. Does this look like the tweets of a man who is of sober mind, talking about all the leeches, forgetting that he cut his teeth in the most ruthless time that ever existed on YouTube, and going on these villain arcs that he immediately deletes, especially when he wakes up the next morning and is like, oh, geez, I can imagine, right? Going, oh, geez, look what I did last night and the mess that I've caused for myself. Well, he didn't have much recovery time because literally the next morning, there was a clip that would go viral of the quartering doing an IRL stream where his goal was to literally follow women around and was saying extremely gross remarks about these women who had children in their presence. Very weird stuff.
If I did see a girl in a chainmail bikini, you know, we would have got her on camera. Here's a.
Jeez. You know someone can report you for this, right?
MILF. And we got, oh boy, we got a thick girl right there, boys. Rawr.
Even one of his
Here's another
chatters flat out says it. What makes this even more gross is the fact that he's a guy in his mid-40s and he's married. Which just makes it even worse.
This is in Bristol, Wisconsin. Ooh, her cup overflowed. She's a little bit old, but she overflowed. Adam Racehorsey, the super chats will blot out the sun. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. MILF, yeah. She's keeping it tight. You know she DTF, she got kids. Yeah, boy. Here you go. Wow.
Okay. Okay, this is just making IRL streams look bad. Next to all the stunts Jack Dorothy pulled, along with Johnny Somali and Vitali. Ugh. Man, I hope he never comes on Kick, because that would just make things a lot worse. Then again, I'm pretty sure no one would tolerate his antics.
Excuse me, officer. I know it looks bad, but somebody paid me $20 to do it.
I mean, how do you even defend this behavior? Like, number one, IRL streamers are obnoxious like 99% of the time, especially when you're involving random people and making creepy comments about them, especially in the presence of children, which would continue in other clips that we'll watch together right now, where someone shared this clip. Just listen to what he's saying and how it plays out.
Strike a combo with that Princess Warrior. This one? I don't know, the pink hair is scaring me. Oh, she's like 10.
So he's making these comments about this girl with the pink hair, and then he's like, oh wait, she's like 10. And then moves on. Like, buddy, stop making weird comments about people, especially at an event.
Okay, all I can say is, get help. Because, and I don't want to sound like that LeBron's on James info. Actually, no, that was... I don't want to sound like, I think that was Michael Jordan in that info ad for McDonald's, where he says, stop it, get help. Yeah, this is literally one of those moments. He literally needs help. Serious help.
Where there's children everywhere. Like seriously, lay off.
Yeah, and the worst part is, this is supposed to be like a Renaissance fair that's a family affairs. Oh yeah, that just... Good job, buddy!
Of all of it. Like, it's creepy. And it's totally uncalled for. Like, how do you, like, explain clips like this? It's just ridiculous. It's way too much. But going back to his YouTube channel, obviously, for the size of his channel and the growth that he's experienced in terms of views and subs, a lot of it's not adding up, right?
Yeah.
But he's trying to take advantage of the situation to drown out the criticism, especially negative videos about him, by doing stuff like this. He's trying to control the SEO by putting his own name in the titles. So when you're searching for the quartering on YouTube, he's trying to increase the chances that it's his videos popping up, not videos of people who are criticizing him. But it's not working, especially on, for example, Rumble. I mean, this is kind of like his home turf, right? Rumble. If you search his name, the first thing you're greeted with is detractors videos first. Not his videos, but his detractors videos. And it's really a shame because, you know, you'd be missing out on some prime content like this where he's talking about the Trump assassination attempt, where his mic is literally muted for the clips he's talking about. But who knows what's going on with this guy. But the most recent thing that happened today is that his related Discord...
Yeah, I saw this message a couple of times on my Twitter feed earlier this week. Kind of makes me wonder what he's hiding over on his Discord. Because now I'm a little curious, and that's a little suspicious for me.
Has been deleted. And this is a part of his website that he promotes. You know, the private Discord access is part of the tiers you can purchase. And imagine also doing a yearly option where you would have this private Discord access for a year, but then suddenly, at some point before that year expires, the Discord completely disappears. It's not a very good look, and people have confirmed, at least as of now, it is down. Not a very good look.
Yeah.
In fact, none of this has been a very good
I
look for a
agree.
guy who is a supposed free speech advocate, who has spoken out when people's channels have been taken down falsely in the past. He's doing what many people believe is false flagging, or at least at the
Yeah.
absolute very least.
Which in itself is literally the cardinal sin, the biggest cardinal sin of being a content creator.
He is expressing desire to have people false flagged and to have their channels taken down because they are saying things negatively about him. And on top of that, he's being caught in lie after lie. He's having these meltdowns on Twitter. It's not been going great. I'd ask him how his weekend has been going. He likes to ask that question, but I think I know the answer. It's not going very well. But that's going to do it for this video and the latest on the quartering. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and turning on notifications for whenever I do my daily uploads or go live on YouTube, which I've been pretty active on over the past 2 months. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Nice.
And I'll see you next time.
Okay. Well, that does it for this video. Honestly, if I was the quartering, I would literally be reconsidering a lot of my life choices because he keeps going like this, who knows where he's going to end up. Because seriously, it's bad. Not that I really much care about him, because I occasionally hear about him here and there, but I never really been like a major supporter or anything. Dang, I've just been that guy that occasionally lurks in the background and occasionally picks up on a few things. Anyways, that's it for me. If you liked today's video, please leave a like, drop a comment down below. Oh, and also please feel free to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to get notified on when I post new videos or when I go live. You can catch me on social media. I'll leave all my links along with the original video in the description below. Also, if you want to catch my gaming streams, all you have to do is either subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Kick. Every Wednesday I do reaction streams, so you can follow me on Kick for that, or head over to my new Rumble channel. Well, I just got everything going, and so expect weekly streams on Rumble every Wednesday, because Wednesdays are my reaction days. Until next time, see you guys later.